Hey, so today I am going to talk about what I made. Tiramisu. I did it without mascarpone cheese. The reason I did was because I could not find mascarpone in any of the stores that I visited locally. That's a problem when you're trying to make something that is hinged off of the Italian authenticity. That's a big word. This time I used 3 egg yolks, 1/4 cup of granulated sugar. Say that really fast. Watch out. Then I mixed it all together and I was looking for a light yellow mixture. Not bright yellow, but light yellow. I found it, but I didn't taste it because that would be dangerous. Dangerous, I tell you. I didn't know for sure what I was doing here because this is my first time making tiramisu. So, lucky me. I then poured half of my heavy whipping cream container into that cup mixture. Poured it out into the bowl and I began to stir it vigorously. What I was excited about was then seeing it become this liquid now turned into whipped cream. I've seen it before, but it's just so exciting every time you see it, you know? Here it is. Voila. Magic almost, but not magic. It was hard work. Then I added my cream cheese that's whipped out of the container. I used half of it. That's some rule of thumb for you. I didn't measure this. I just used half of these situations because most actual recipes told me to use about 4 ounces. I felt as though my measurements up until this point was accurate enough and it wasn't all over the place. So I felt pretty comfortable with the next thing that I did, which was using my vanilla. The vanilla I do not measure. You already understand why, because I love the flavor of vanilla and I think it brings a lot of good things to this dish. So I stirred all that together, really happy with the outcome. It was still whipped, it's still really peaky, really stiff. I was then confident that I could add the egg mixture to that. So I scraped the bowl really well and just began to mix it all together. Use the stand mixer or use a hand mixer for it. I believe it matters a little less than just using your hand. If you want to use your hands, more power to you because that's a lot of stirring. And since it involved air like it does here, I wanted something that was light and airy, and I felt as though any tiramisu I've tasted in the past had that light and airy texture to it. So, I expected that. Here I was using a can of espresso. Potent stuff, I tell you. Potent stuff. The reason I did not taste this is, one, it was 10 p.m. at night. I don't drink coffee. And espresso smells like espresso. It smells like coffee. So use your senses here. No need to taste everything. I then dipped the lady fingers inside of it. And one of my mistakes was leaving the lady finger in there far too long. If you want to use lady fingers, don't dip them in there too long. Use a brush. That brush will save your dish. It'll keep the outer parts of the lady finger soaked with espresso, but the inner part you want to stay less covered by espresso. The reason is because if your dish looks like this, 2 things happened. You have water in there somewhere, or you didn't do this next step that I'm showing you here. I used a double boiler on my egg yolk mixture this time. I redid the whole thing, and this was part of the difference making. It became a fluffy mixture instead of a soupy mixture. That's important to understand. Fluffy is like a pillow. Soup, very much like the word itself, it was loose and liquidy. This is much different than the first time I showed you. I added all the things back in and mixed it together. Here I topped it off with a cocoa powder. Nothing crazy about it, just cocoa powder, that's it. And I was ready to refrigerate for 6 hours. Once you're done with that, walk away. Your dish is done. Learn from my mistakes. Enjoy. If you like these kinds of things, let me know in the comments, please. Liking and commenting helps me understand what I've done right or what I've done wrong. I put effort into these things. Enjoy the joke at the end.